Good afternoon, I'm Alex, your AI host, and welcome back. In this video, we will discuss post-award activities and compliance. This is when you've won your contract and now have to perform or execute the contract. Let's get started. So you've won your contract. Now what? Your first activity is to thoroughly review the contract and the accompanying statement of work. Check all the clauses, the deliverables outlined, and timelines related to expected progress, or the dates the deliverables are due. You will want to have an internal kickoff meeting with your project team, and there will also be a kickoff meeting scheduled with the government. Generally, the government will have the contracting officer's representative present, the core, and the program manager who is your customer. Sometimes the core and the program manager are the same person, but this is typically not the case. On your side, as the vendor or contractor, it will be the program or project manager, possibly a senior leader from your headquarters or corporate. The kickoff meeting allows for formal introductions, coordinating access to government facilities or sites, network access, and general baseline items. You will also cover specifics around the deliverables, timelines, and expectations. Compliance management covers your record keeping, timekeeping, and documentation around certifications for your company or your project team. Common items include ISO certifications and cyber certs, but also your reporting requirements such as monthly reports and maintaining project records such as a risk register. Deliverable management. Meeting the deadlines for your deliverables is critical, but meeting quality standards is just as important. The statement of work should outline the exact requirements around your deliverables from sourcing, format, or method of delivery. Be proactive in your project management practices and work with the core or program manager if you expect any issues or delays. Your success is their success, so honest communication is the key. For financial oversight, you need to track your costs against the approved budget. This is called the burn rate and lets you determine if the money allocated by the government is being used at an adequate rate, i.e., there is enough money to finish the project. The government side should be monitoring this, but you want to do it as well. Financial oversight also includes submitting your invoices at the right time or interval and in the method specified in the contract with any required documentation, such as copies of invoices for materials or timesheets for your staff. And finally, communication. As I said earlier, be proactive in your communication with the government, maintain regular contact with your core or program manager, and provide status updates frequently and address concerns promptly. Do not wait until after the fact. Your contract is a partnership with the government, so be honest and forthcoming about any issues or any questions you may have. Risk management. You will hear this a lot in government contracting. This not only addresses avoiding failures, but also delays or cost overruns. Your first step is to identify potential risks during project planning. You may have done this when you were preparing your proposal, but you want to definitely address and track this now that you have won the award. Second, you want to develop contingency plans for key risks or risks that have a high likelihood of occurring or would have a high impact on the project. What will you tentatively do if you see your costs being higher than projected or there is a delay in delivery? How will you address this internally, but also with the customer? One often overlooked risk is a change in technology. While the product or solution you are offering may be an industry standard or cutting edge, a disruptive solution may be just around the corner, which can undermine your effort and pause the government's interest in your work. Monitor your risks throughout the life of your project or contract and adjust strategies as needed. This is typically done with a risk register that you can share with your project team and even the client. Be proactive in your project management practices and your communication with the government. Our final topic for this lesson is contract closeout. As your project is winding down, verify and document that the government has accepted all of your deliverables. Resolve any outstanding issues such as following up on repairs or corrections to previous deliverables. Submit your final reports and your final invoice. Always verify you have covered everything, because once the final invoice is paid and the record closed out, your ability to go back and recover any costs for unbilled work essentially disappear. Take your time and double-check everything. After contract closeout, you are still required to maintain all your project records. This is typically between 3 to 6 years depending on the type of record it is and the type of work or contract you had. The FAR clauses outlined in your contract or the statement of work will tell you, but do not hesitate to ask your core, program manager, or the contracting officer if you aren't sure. Post-award management is essentially performing on the contract in line with the government's expectations. View your relationship with your government clients as a partnership. They want you to succeed as much as you do, so be positive and communicate with them to achieve success. This micro-learning course is written and produced by Michael Bouchard. Michael is a former U.S. naval officer and has nearly 20 years of experience in sales and management consulting, specializing in reorganizations, turnarounds, and realignments. Over the course of his career, Michael has worked with more than 8 different federal agencies and dozens of private sector clients across the United States, Europe, the Middle East, and Central Asia. If you have any questions about federal contracting, feel free to contact him at michael@takotaglobal.com or connect with him on LinkedIn. Thank you, and we'll see you in Module 6.